It's sad though, Lena, that all of these advancements in human endeavor has to do mostly something with war. Like, I mean, why did man go to the moon first? I mean, if we think about during um, um, 1969, was it? I'm not sure. But why? Because of the Cold War with Russia. Because Russia was planning to go to the moon.
Right. Yeah.
And
Let's ask Google. Alexa,
I hope she didn't hear
who
that.
was the president when we went to the moon?
Alexa, who was the president when United States first went to the moon?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. When we first went to the moon in July 1969, the President of the United States was Richard Nixon.
Nixon. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Who was the U.S. president in 1970? Alexa, who was the U.S. president in 1972?
From Answers.com. Richard Milhouse Nixon was the President of the United States in 1972.
Alexa, who was the president before Richard Nixon?
Lyndon B. Johnson was the president before Richard Nixon.
Really? I think I have my American history kind of a bit confused in that
Right.
case.
So we stand corrected.
But every time, basically my point being, every time it's got to do because of war. Nuclear warheads, war with this, war with that. You know, you're dropping depleted uranium under the sea, you're spilling toxic chemicals all around, and you're encouraging people to sit at home with a shopping bag for life and a low energy light bulb. Really?
Shehzad, I had the same point of view up until a week ago. So I watched this documentary, which is called, it's on National Geographic, and it's presented by Jason Silva, and it's called The Origins. So he picks up one thing and goes and traces his back to the origins. Where did it come from?
Interesting.
So it's a 40-minute episode, and he actually, this episode that I watched was about war.
This is Netflix for our viewers?
No, this is National Geographic, Disney.
Okay.
And just look up Jason Silva and you'll find it there. So now we're talking about war, but really the tools of war. When we do talk about war, but we are really talking about the tools of war, the tools that are used to fight these wars. So in the beginning, it was maybe some sticks, it was spears, it was maybe an axe. It was those things that allowed one group of people or one person to kill, annihilate, or maybe imprison another person or another group of people. As the tools of violence grew bigger and more lethal, so did the scope of the turmoil. Does it make sense?
Yep.
So if there was just 5 spears, if this is like small community, tribal community somewhere, and they only have 5 spears, only 5 people can go and attack, and it's going to be like a small conflict. Okay. But somehow someone develops a cannon. Okay. Now they can tear down walls of a fort. Right. So as the tools of war grew more violent and aggressive, and as more technology got into it, the conflicts got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, up until World War II, when they dropped the atomic bomb, which was the biggest tool coming from a spear or stone all the way to the atomic bomb, which would annihilate an entire region. Like just recently, Oppenheimer was released in Japan, and there were people, I watched their reactions, who said that the atomic bomb was dropped not too far away from this theater.
Right.
Right. We have seen that destruction here. and you guys have dared to make a movie about it, and we are watching it right here. You have no idea what we have gone through. Like their emotions, like my emotion and my expression of watching that movie was totally different to their
Mm.
sentiments who actually went through it. So once we got to the point, which was like the biggest catastrophe, the atomic bomb that could actually bring the world to an end,
Mm.
that is when we kind of like, reclined a little bit, thinking,
Mm.
oops, oops, that could be a really big oops. But now these atomic powers are there. They're not going to use these bombs, but they are there to threaten each other. That is why for India and for Pakistan, it was really important to become an atomic power, just so that they have that supremacy. That means you have those tools, you have those weapons to actually defend yourself.
Mm.
But if you look at it, and this is where I should have started this whole statement, if you
Mm.
really look at it, where we live right now, what language we speak, what food we eat, the borders around us, they are all defined by war.
Mm.
So, our world today, as we see it, has been defined by war
Mm.
and will keep on being defined by war. Right now, what we are seeing in Palestine and Israel, and with Ukraine and Russia, what we are seeing right now is basically just a conflict of the border,
Mhm.
and a war is being fought. These tools and these weapons are being used to redefine those borders.
Mm.
So, yes, everything is about war, but everything really is about attaining power.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the guy who wrote the book *Sapiens*, he said it really. I forget his name. He's an Israeli guy. He says that
It's Yuvraj.
who
It's something like
no, it's a,
that.
yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, who wrote the *Sapiens*? Yuval Noah Yuval Noah Harari.
Ah.
That's his name. *Sapiens*, I highly recommend everyone to actually read this book. It's amazing.
Mm.
So he says that human beings as a race are very good at attaining power. It's very easy for us to climb there and attain that power. But human beings are really bad at transforming that power into happiness.
Mm.
We are not happy today. We were not happy 500 years ago. We will not be happy 500 years from now. We know that already. We were not happy 1,000 years ago. We'll not be happy 1,000 years later. So it's got nothing to do with happiness.
Mm.
People will find love in war. People will find love in peace. People will find love in a bad place.
Nice one.
And they will find love in a good place. People will have babies in war. People have babies in peace. So this thing will keep on going on. The machine of the world will keep going on, and it's war that shapes the borders.
Mm.
And there's nothing that can make us happy. No amount of power can make us happy.
Mm. And with these ever expanding theaters of war, if you want to call them, it's really at
Wow,
the end of the day.
theaters of war.
I'd really like to share this picture, Lena.
Okay, are you sharing it?
Yes.
Okay.
While we are on this, sorry, one sec. While we are on the subject of war,
Uh-huh.
this is an award-winning picture. I think it was 2021
Mm-hmm.
by a Turkish photographer.
Mm-hmm.
This picture is on the border of the Turkey and Syria border. It's one of the people who made it to Turkey and escaped the Syrian war. This is a father who lost his leg because of a bomb fragment going into his leg. And that's his son, who was born without the lower part of his body because his mother was poisoned by nerve gas. And eventually, the medication that she took, this was the effect. And this is what breaks my heart about war.
Mm. I'm sorry. That's sad.
It's called The Hardship of Life.
Hard.
And it won Best Photo in 2021.
Wow.
Oh,
This happens in war. And we had decided we're not going to talk about war, but now that we have started talking about war,
No,
let's.
we said we didn't talk about politics. I talked about Imran Khan. Did I say anything about his
No, no, you
politics?
did not.
Yeah.
But just right now, just 2 days ago, the World Kitchen van that had 7 people in it, and they were going to give food to the hungry Palestinians.
Mhm.
It was targeted and attacked, and all 7 people died. There was an American, there was UK, there was Australian, there was someone from Singapore. And so these are like all these people who are from these different countries who
Mm.
went there and feeding these hungry people. The vans were clearly marked on the side and on the top as well, and they had coordinated their whereabouts
Mm.
with the Israeli forces as well. So I think his name is something Jose, who is the CEO of the World Kitchen organization.
Uh-huh.
He said that this was a deliberate attack. Netanyahu said this happens in war.
Mm.
His statement yesterday was, it was so indifferent and
Mm.
devoid of emotion. It almost felt like a robot is talking, saying, this happens in war. Like, you are the aggressor. Okay, you're not the aggressor. You are the defender. So you say, all right, even then, there is an emotion that you can actually express at times like that, when innocent people who are actually there to help these people, to feed these people
Mm.
that you're attacking, are being killed by you guys. And he's like, and that was and everyone was shocked, like the world is shocked by this statement, that this happens in war. And that was Netanyahu. And afterwards, I think the Israeli government, the state, came out with a statement that said, which was a statement that was a little bit more humane,
Mhm.
that said that we're very sorry about this, and it was not a deliberate attack and stuff. And um and I've been thinking, like, why doesn't Hamas release those prisoners,
Mm.
those hostages? It's
Mm.
all about the hostages, right? They're attacking because they want the hostages back. Why doesn't Hamas release those hostages? Wouldn't it just end here? No one's talking about that.
Mm.
I really appreciate everyone who's standing up for Palestine, who's going out and going to all the protests that are happening. Just in the White House, I read up this article, and I'm going to bring it up on, I think it was on the New York Times.
Mhm.
And this article is about my activity. Where do I go for saved posts? Newsstand, saved stories. Okay. I thought I saved it. Okay. Anyhow, so like we had the mayors of Tar here.
Mhm.
We had the Fort Bend mayors of Tar here too. So there is a iftar that happens at the White House as well.
Uh-huh.
And
Weren't
n-
we invited?
no, we were not invited,
Okay.
but no one accepted it.
No one accepted it, meaning?
Yes, that means no one. They sent invitations
Uh-huh.
to the head of Muslim organizations to come and be part of their iftar. They have it every year. They had it last year as well. People posted selfies with, Biden,
Uh-huh.
but everyone kept declining. And in the end, there was only one organization who met with Biden for 6 minutes only. And he presented Biden with a letter from a girl in Palestine that was translated by the New York Times, and that talked about how she's lost her home and what she's really experiencing over there.
Mm.
And that guy walked out after a meeting of 6 minutes. He walked out of this meeting with Biden, saying that I'm going to walk out to make you feel what it feels like when someone walks out on you.
Mm.
And the iftar at the White House, there were just like staffers there, just a few people who came there, and it wasn't really. And while all this is happening inside, outside there is a protest. Instead of being inside, they decided to protest outside, and it was time for the Maghrib prayer in the evening, and everyone was like praying
I
outside
see.
on the
Right.
streets actually. So this happens. So I'm going to ask that, all these people who are protesting, great, awesome. Why isn't someone urging Hamas to release the hostages? Like, we are urging Israel, or maybe I don't understand the politics here. And if someone understands the politics here and I'm wrong, please correct me. Please inbox me. Please leave your comments. Please call me. Everyone has my number. Let me know where I am incorrect here. Why is Hamas not being urged to release those hostages so this can stop?
Mm.
Because that's what they're saying. That's their excuse, that we're only going there to get the hostages. That's it. So
Mm.
I think today's show just about comes to an end over here.
No.
Should
After
we
all of this, we need a cute video, Leena.
should we call it the war episode?
Whoa. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's the war episode.
Mm.
Started off really nice.
Mm.
It's because of you.
What? What are you talking? I didn't get into politics.
When did we get
Well, when
into
did we get into this?
how did all
The
this
moon.
it's,
we need to stay more focused, I think.
it's all like the caption right now is moon is getting a time zone.
Oh, that's still the caption.
That is still the caption. So
But can we please have a cute video after
okay,
all of
okay,
this?
let's do
It's
that.
time for a cute video.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically,
We need to loosen up a little bit. Yeah, it's okay. Shehzad,
are you ready?
cross my heart.
Uh-huh.
I'm not talking about politics.
Okay.
I'm not talking about war.
Okay.
Everyone is going through the same thing. I do not want this to be an outlet of my rage.
It's a bit too late for that.
Okay.